You paid $180 for that drill because of the name printed on the side of it. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you already know it's not the same tool your dad bought 30 years ago. Same logo, same colors, different company, different factory, different everything. If you're about to spend real money on tools this year, this video will save you from paying premium prices for a sticker. Quick favor, hit subscribe before we begin, because this channel exists to keep money in your pocket. I'm Jerry Davis, and after 25 years on job sites, I've watched good tool brands get bought, sold, licensed, and hollowed out while the price tag kept climbing. I've burned up drills that cost twice what they should have, and I've got a 15-year-old impact driver in my truck that outlasted 3 of its so-called replacements. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which names still mean something, how to read past the marketing, and how to spot when you're buying a tool versus when you're buying a memory. Let's start with the thing most people still don't realize. The name on the tool is almost never the company that made it. Right now, a huge chunk of the tool aisle is controlled by a handful of giants. TTI out of Hong Kong owns Milwaukee and Ryobi, builds rigid power tools under license, and makes Hart for Walmart. Stanley Black & Decker owns DeWalt, Craftsman, Porter Cable, Irwin, and Black & Decker itself. Chervon builds Ego, Skill, and a bunch of Cobalt cordless stuff for Lowe's. So, when you're standing in the aisle agonizing between 2 brands, there's a decent chance you're comparing 2 products from the same parent company, sometimes built in the same building. Look, I get it. You grew up trusting certain names, but the trust was earned by a company that may not exist anymore. The name got sold. The trust didn't transfer with it. And this brings me straight to Craftsman, because this one drives me nuts. People walk into a big box store, see that red logo, and their brain says, lifetime warranty, made in America, the wrenches from Grandpa's garage. Here's the problem. Sears sold that name in 2017. What you're buying today is a Stanley Black & Decker product line that shares more DNA with the budget brands next to it than with anything from the Sears era. Is it garbage? No, actually, some of it's fine. But you're paying a nostalgia tax on ordinary tools. What to do instead? Flip the package over, look at where it's made, what the warranty actually says, and compare the specs against the store brand sitting 2 feet away. Half the time, the house brand is the same tool with a different sticker and a lower price. That's not a rumor, that's how the industry works. Chervon literally builds Cobalt's brushless, cordless line. You're not slumming it by buying it, you're just skipping the middleman markup. Now let's talk about the word pro, because in 2026, that word has been beaten to death. Brands slap Pro, Elite, Extreme, and Max on everything, including tools that are consumer-grade guts in a tougher-looking shell. I get it. It looks serious. Black housing, gold accents, aggressive font. But here's what no one tells you. The stuff that makes a tool professional grade is boring. It's a brushless motor. It's an all-metal chuck instead of plastic. It's the quality of the trigger switch, because that's usually the first thing that dies. It's whether the gearbox is metal or glass-filled nylon. None of that is on the front of the box. It's in the spec sheet, and sometimes not even there. Here's a pro tip. Before you buy anything over $100, search the model number, not the brand, the model number, plus the word tear down. There are people on the internet who take these things apart, and 5 minutes of that tells you more than 50 years of brand reputation. Now, the part most homeowners forget entirely. When you buy your first cordless tool, you are not buying a tool. You are buying into a battery platform, and that decision will quietly control every tool purchase you make for the next decade. This is where people mess up. They buy whatever drill is on sale at Christmas, then a year later, they need a saw, and now they're either paying full price to stay on a platform they don't love, or starting over and owning 2 chargers, 2 battery types, and a drawer full of regret. The batteries are the business model. The tool is almost the lost leader. So do it in this order. Figure out what you'll realistically own in 5 years. Drill, impact, circular saw, maybe an oscillating tool, maybe yard equipment. Then pick the platform that covers all of it, at prices you can stomach, from a brand with an actual service network. For most homeowners, that's honestly Ryobi. It's not a job site tool, and it doesn't pretend to be, but the platform is enormous. The batteries are cheap, and it'll do everything a house asks of it. And yes, I know some of you are going to disagree and tell me real men buy Milwaukee. If you swing tools for a living, sure. If you hang a shelf twice a year, you're buying a Ferrari to get groceries. Here's another one, and this is the detail that makes all the difference. Watch out for licensed products. That famous tool name on a cheap work light, an air compressor, a wet-dry vac, a flashlight at the checkout counter, often that's not the tool company at all. It's a licensing deal where some third-party manufacturer pays for the right to print the name on their product. The parent brand may have barely looked at the thing. The tell is tiny print on the package that says manufactured under license, or a company name you've never heard of in the legal fine print. If the category seems weird for the brand, a drill company selling extension cords and coolers, slow down and read the box. You're probably looking at a name rental. And can we please talk about warranties? Because lifetime doesn't mean what it used to. The old deal was simple. It breaks, you walk in, you walk out with a new one. Today, lifetime often means lifetime of the tool as they define it. With your original receipt, after online registration within 30 days, excluding wear items, batteries, and basically everything that actually breaks. Don't get mad at the counter guy. He didn't write it. Instead, do this. The day you buy anything significant, photograph the receipt and email it to yourself with the model number in the subject line. Takes 30 seconds. And before you buy, check whether the brand has a real service center anywhere near you, or whether warranty service means shipping your tool to a black hole for 6 weeks. A slightly cheaper tool from a brand with an actual repair network beats a fancier one from a brand that treats every claim like an insult. So where does that leave you? Here's my honest buying rule after all these years. Buy the spec sheet, not the logo. A mid-tier tool from a serious platform will outperform the pro edition of a hollowed-out name every single time. Spend up on the tools that spin fast and work hard. Saws, grinders, anything with a motor under real load. Save money on the simple stuff, because a $15 house brand hammer and an $80 boutique hammer drive the same nail. And when a brand suddenly shows up in categories it never used to touch, at prices that seem too good, trust your gut. The name is doing the selling because the tool can't. Tell me in the comments which brand burned you, because I guarantee half of you have a story about a tool that died young wearing a badge that used to mean forever. I read those comments, and honestly, they're better research than most spec sheets. Here's the takeaway. A good tool purchase isn't about loyalty. The companies gave up on loyalty when they started trading names like baseball cards. It's about knowing who actually built the thing in your hand, what's inside it, and who's going to stand behind it when it breaks. Get those 3 answers, and the logo stops mattering. If this saved you from an expensive mistake, hit like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to see it. I'll catch you in the next one.